Hey everyone, and welcome to Bite-Sized Tactics. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Heavy Intercessor Squad, one of the toughest infantry units that the Space Marines have to offer. Looking at their profile, they have a 5-inch movement, they are toughness 6, a 3 plus armor save, they also have 3 wounds per model, a 6 plus leadership, and an objective control of 2. The unit consists of 1 sergeant and either 4 or 9 Heavy Intercessors. A unit of 5 will cost you 100 points, while a unit of 10 will cost you 200 points. Now they have quite a few keywords here, the first one being the infantry keyword, which is important for abilities and stratagems throughout the game. The next is the battle line keyword, which means you can have up to 6 units in a list. They also have the grenades keyword, which allows you to use the grenades stratagem. And finally, they are a Gravis unit, which could be important for transport capacity, as they will take up more spaces than regular infantry squads. They also have a single inbuilt ability called Unyielding in the face of the foe, so while on an objective marker you control, if an attack allocated to you has a damage characteristic of 1, you get +1 to your armor save. So every Heavy Intercessor is equipped with a bolt pistol, which can allow them to shoot into combat with the pistol keyword, so that can be quite useful at times. It's at strength 4, 0 AP and damage 1, so not overly effective. They are also equipped with a heavy bolt rifle, which has the heavy and assault ability, so that can be good for movement and then doing actions, and it's pretty good against infantry units at strength 5, -1 AP and 1 damage. And finally, they have the close combat weapons, which isn't too bad at dealing with infantry. They get 3 attacks, strength 4, no AP and damage 1. However, for every 5 models you can have 1 heavy bolter included in the unit. The Heavy Bolter has the Assault, Heavy, and Sustained Hits 1 abilities at Strength 5, -1 AP, and Damage 2, so this weapon is quite good at killing infantry units. In fact, that's what the Heavy Intercessors are made for. They are made for dealing with infantry units and not much else. Now, their weaknesses are probably not too surprising and quite obvious. They have a slower movement than most infantry units in the Space Marine Codex, and they don't have a lot of attacks either, so they can only provide a very low damage output as well. They will also struggle against anything higher than toughness 4. Anti-infantry weapons can be quite bad for this unit, especially if they have devastating wounds accompanying that. And also, you don't want these units to be caught in close combat, as they aren't very proficient and will probably get killed off over time. So for their strengths, they can obviously still advance and then shoot or do actions with the assault ability attached to their heavy bolt rifle or heavy bolters. They do have a high toughness of 6, better than a Terminator, and they also have 3 wounds per model, which is quite good as well. They're great for scoring primary and holding an objective in no man's land, and can easily get a 2 plus armor save, as most ranged weapons that you'll target with infantry units are only normally damage 1 or possibly 2. And they can also be quite useful for scoring secondaries as well, as they can just park themselves on a no man's land objective, score your primary, and because their shooting isn't great for damage output, you could just use them to do secondaries instead, like cleanse or deploy teleport homers. All that obviously ties into their mission play, which is basically sitting on an objective to again score your primary, as they are going to be very hard to shift off of it, especially if you have a unit of 10. You could also potentially push them forward on a flank and then sit them on that no man's land objective to score secondary points as well, to do actions like cleanse, or again, if you push into the middle, deploy teleport homer. They can also be quite useful with the Anvil Siege Force detachment because they benefit off the detachment rule, and it makes them a little bit more deadly. So there are a few leaders for this unit, the first being the Captain and Gravis Armor, which can target the unit for a free battle tactic stratagem once per battle round, and then the Apothecary Biologus, which is a new unit to the Space Marine Codex, and the Apothecary will give this unit the Lethal Hits ability, making them again a little bit more deadly, and potentially pushing up their damage output. So I do find the Heavy Intercessor Squad a bit of a strange unit. It won't deal a lot of damage to your opponent, but they could hold out on that no man's land objective, which can be quite important, especially if there's one really close to your deployment zone, and become really hard to shift off of and score you a lot of primary and also secondary points, especially as they have quite a high OC as well. This is a very important battle line unit for those who enjoy playing Gravis style models, especially those Space Marine players that are just in love with the Primaris range. Or again, if you do enjoy playing the Anvil Siege Force detachment, this unit is quite good for those battle line slots. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to grow the channel and help it out. And let me know in the comments whether or not you think the Heavy Intercessor squad is one of the best battle line units available for the Space Marine Codex.